Muy buenas tardes, vamos a dar inicio con nuestra clase de inglés. Vamos a dar unos minutos para dar tolerancia a que se conecten más compañeros. Bienvenidos.
Hello everyone, my name is Teacher Rodrigo and today we're gonna look at three topics, three very important topics. The first is adverbs of frequency, the part one, right? And it's my pleasure to welcome to you to this part of the course. In this unit, you will find the grammar explanation and trial and error and activities of adverb of frequency. You will find two types of activities in this class. Some of them you can practice as many times you feel necessary. Others will be great. So read the instructions very careful, right? Pay attention to instruction very careful. Right. By the end of this class, you will be able to produce the adverb of frequency by answering the question how often, or by saying how regularly sometimes happens, or someone performs a specific daily activity. But the first questions, what are adverbs of a frequency? First, the topic today, adverbs of frequency, right? Adverbs of frequency, right? Sorry. Adverbs of frequency, right? What are adverbs of frequency, right? Adverbs of frequency typically modifies verbs, right? But what are verbs of frequency? The words used to describe how often you exercise or do any other activity are called adverbs of frequency. An adverb of frequency is a word that modifies and describes a verb, adjective, or group of words. Adverbs of frequency typical modified verbs are action words and show how often they occur. Now, we used to talk of how often. ¿Qué tan seguido? ¿Qué tan a menudo? Right? This is the but the adverbs of frequency are the next. Please pay attention for this. The first, always, right? Frequency 100%, right? Always. The first, always, always. Next, 90% usually, right? Usually. 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 Next, 70% often. Next, 50%. Sometimes. Then 30%. And 30% not often. Next, 5%. Hardly ever, hardly ever. And the last, 0%. And it's never. Right? Example with this, always. Maybe I always go to the school in the morning, for example. I always go to the school in the morning. Right? Always. I mean, todos los días. Siempre. Next, with usually, maybe he usually goes to the cinema on Saturdays. He usually goes to the cinema on Saturdays. Right? On Saturdays. With often, they often take a shower at 9 a.m. Repeat, they often take a shower at 9 a.m. Right? At 9 a.m. with often. Sometimes, example with sometimes, we sometimes have lunch at 9 p.m. Repeat, we sometimes have lunch at 9 p.m. We sometimes, with not often, you don't often do homework in the evening. Repeat, you don't often do, you, right? In this case, it's negative. You don't often do homework in the evening. Right? Now, with hardly ever, right? She hardly ever, repeat, she hardly ever goes shopping at night. right? She hardly ever goes shopping at night. Muy raramente. And the last, you never do exercise. In the afternoon, right? Check. This is the adverb of frequency. In this case, you always, usually, often, don't say often, often, sometimes, uh, not often, hardly ever, and never. What? It's for frequency. It's like, it's like, no, right? I know. Right? Please take note for this one. I'm get off of the board. Wait, take a screenshot or photo or no. Are you done? Now, based on their use, let's see some adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency are usual to describe how often action happen. Use the following form before a main verb except with be. Right? Repeat. Before a main verb, before a main verb, except with be. Except with be, right? With verb to be. So the structure of this sentence: subject, adverb of frequency, plus main verb. Repeat. The structure is subject, adverb, main verb. This is the structure for this sentence: subject, adverb, and main verb. Subject, adverb, main verb. Subject, object, main verb. Subject, adverb, main verb. Right? Again, another example, I always remember to do my homework. Another example, he normally gets good marks in his exam. Right? Subject, adverb, and plus main verb. Please take note for this. And in one moment, I'm gonna delete all the words. You got it? I'm sure you got it. I'm gonna delete. Now, the next rule: adverb after the verb to be. Repeat: after the verb to be. after the verb to be. After the verb to be, right? And the structure is the next subject to be adverb. Now switch the words subject to be adverb. Repeat subject plus to be verb to be, and finally adverb. Adverb of frequency, right? For example, they are never, please say, to see me. Repeat. They are never, with other color. They are they are never, please say, to see me. Right? Subject to be adverb. Another example, she isn't usually bad temperature. Repeat, she isn't she isn't usually temperature. Right? Subject to be an adverb. Right? In this case, the adverb of frequency goes after the verb to be in this place. This is its location, right? And this is the verb to be, the verb to be. Now, next, we can also use the following adverbs at the start of a sentence. Usually, normally, often, frequently, sometimes, occasionally, right? Occasionally, repeat, occasionally. For example, adverbs at the start of the sentence. Repeat, at the start of the sentence. Example, occasionally I like to eat Thai food. But pay attention for this one. We cannot use the following at the beginning of a sentence. Always, seldom, rarely, hardly, ever, and never. Right? Repeat. We cannot use the following at the beginning of a sentence. Always, seldom, rarely, hardly, ever, and never. Right? Next, we use hardly ever and never with positive, not negative verbs, right? For example, she hardly ever comes to my parties. They never say thank you, right? And the last, we can also use the following expression when we to be more specific about the frequency. I'm gonna write all this sentence, right? The first, I told you, we cannot use the following at the beginning to start a sentence, right? Repeat, we can't use the following at the start. At the stars, at the beginning beginning at the beginning, how always, seldom, rarely, always, seldom, rarely, seldom, seldom, rarely, never and ever. Right? Now, we use hardly ever and never with positive, not negative verbs. And the last rule, we can also use the following expression when we want to be more specific. To be more specific, right? Well, every day, once a month, once a year, repeat every day, once a year, once a month, once, una vez al año, every day, todos los días, once a month, once a week, etc. Twice a year, twice a year, I mean, twice 2 times, right? For once, for one time, once. For 2 times, twice. Now for 3 times, you can say this 3 times a day, 3 times a year. Three times a day. And for one day yes and one day no, you can say every other day. Repeat. This means un día sí y un día no, right? I'm taking English class every other day. Yo tomo clases de inglés un día sí y un día no. I'm taking English class every other week. Now con semana, week. Every other week. Una semana sí, una semana no, right? Every other day. One day yes and one day no. Easy, right? Please take photo for this one. I'm gonna delete this. Are you ready? Yes. Now, let's practice all this knowledge, right? With some exercise for you. Please pay attention for this exercise. First, I blank I blank to school in the morning. Right? I blank go to school. Go to school in the morning. In this case, what word we use? What often just depend of you. Never, hardly ever. In my case, we use always. We're gonna use always. I always go to school in the morning, right? For give class. Now, te voy a poner unos ejercicios y espero que los puedas resolver. Muy pocos, no te preocupes. On the next, do, in this case, check this. Do they in this case, we're gonna blank. Do they blank to the seminar at weekends? And we have three options for you. The first, never to go. Right? The second, go never. And the last, never go. Choose the correct answer, right? Next, pay attention. Here, blank. He blank exercise on Sunday. Exercise on Sunday. And we have three options. The first option for this is doesn't often do. Repeat, doesn't often do. B is doesn't often to do. And the last, do doesn't often. What is the correct option for this sentence, right? Think it about it this. Right. I'm gonna give you the answer for this. Check. In this case, do they with a question mark? Do they blank to the Nima at weekends? What is the correct answer? Never to go, go never, or never go, right? Oh, the correct answer is never go. Today, never go to the cinema at weekends, right? And the next, keep one exercise on Sunday. Doesn't often do, doesn't often to do doesn't often. What is the correct option for this sentence? The correct option for this is doesn't often to do. This is right. Easy, right? Please take four for this exercise. Now, it's time for the homework for you, right? Now, for the homework, what is the homework in this case? It's about of writing homework. Tell us something about you, right? And it's time for you to put in practice the adverb of frequency based on your daily life. How often do you these activities, right? Write about activities you practice and their frequency. Use always, never, usually, often, sometimes, and other adverbs to describe your activity the best you can, right? Include the time you wake up, take a shower, leave your house, study, sports, free time, etc. Include at least 10 activities. For example, my routine, I always get up at 7 o'clock. Then I eat breakfast. I usually eat cereal and drink a glass of milk. And then I walk the dog. I always eat lunch at 12:15, always. At lunchtime, I usually drink water and eat a big salad, right? I never eat meat because I am vegetarian. I often have dinner at 6 o'clock in the evening, something like this time, right? I sometimes watch my favorite TV programs in the afternoons. Later, I do my homework and go to the bed. I often go to the bed at 10 o'clock. I occasionally go to the bed late, right? Like this, you're gonna write about your daily activity from your house, right? This is the first homework for you, right? Yeah. Are you done, homeboy? Perfect. Um, I'm gonna for you last exercise, right? Tengo un último ejercicio para ti con respecto a los adverbios de frecuencia. My last exercise for you. I'm gonna delete all this. Right. For the last exercise, uh, choose the correct sentence. Choose the correct sentence which is right correctly. Which is right correctly. Check the examples. For example, you say always the soup is cold, right? Use B, you always say the soup is cold. And C, you say the always soup is cold. Repeat, and I'm gonna write down on the board. The first is, sorry, repeat. Choose the correct answer, all right? You say always the soup is cold. Repeat. Repeat, you say always the soup is cold. This is the option one. The option two, you always say the soup is cold. The soup is cold. And option three, you say they always repeat, you say the always soup is cold. Where is the sentence which is written correctly? 1, 2, or 3? Now this is the first exercise. The next exercise is option 1. For the option 1, I take regularly a taxi. I take regularly a taxi. Next, a taxi regularly a take. I a taxi regularly a take. This is the option 2. And the option 3, what is the option 3 for this one? The option 3, I rarely take a taxi. I rarely take a taxi. I always use our other application. Now, for the first, right? For the first, with this one. What is the correct option for this? 1, 2, 3. And the correct option for this is number 2. Subject, adverb, main verb, complement. Right? You always say the soup is cold. And for this, what is the correct option for this? 1, 2, 3. Now, for this, option 3, I rarely take a taxi. This is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. I rarely take a taxi. Rarely. right? Now, please write down on your notebook all this knowledge. Are you done? Well, this is all for the first part of the class. Esto es todo por la primera parte de nuestra clase sobre los adverbios de frecuencia. Ahora vamos a pasar a la segunda parte de nuestra clase, el segundo tema, que es el verbo modal can, for ability and permission, right? The modal verb can in affirmative, interrogative, and negative form. In this part of the class, you will learn how to use the modal verb can to express ability and informal permission. First, you will read the text about real people with superhuman abilities and answer some questions about it. Then, in the listening comprehension section, you will match things with meaning using can for permission. In the writing section, you will interview members of your family to write a text describing their abilities. Finally, in the speaking section, you will record the description of superhero that you create. If you do a good job, you will be able to practice the modal verb can in the oral and writing text. We hope you enjoying learning this topic, right? Now, the next topic, modal verb can. I mean poder, but for ability and permission. Right, the verb can, the first that you know, yeah, you have to know. The verb can is used to describe abilities, ask, give, or deny permission. Ask, need, or give permission. Ask, deny, or give permission. Now, this is the first part. The next thing that you have to do to know about this topic. Now, for affirmative form, the structure is the next. For affirmative, subject can, main in simple form. I repeat, subject can, right? Plus. Subject plus can plus verb in simple form. Subject can, verb in simple form plus complement. Right? This is for affirmative sentence. Now, in negative sentence, the structure is the next. Subject can not or can Subject cannot or can, verb in simple form, plus complement. Right. Just add not after the verb can not or can. Now, next, in interrogative sentence. Now, for interrogative, the structure is question word with question word, question word, plus, in this case, can, plus subject, plus subject, plus verb in simple form, plus complement, plus question mark. Repeat, for interrogative, question word plus can plus subject plus verb in simple form plus complement and finally plus sub question mark. Right. For can, it's a modal verb. That means another verb. Repeat. It's a modal verb. It is a modal verb. It's a modal verb, right? Can, it's a modal verb. That means that it means that needs that needs another verb. Right? Los verbos modales necesitan de otro verbo, right? Now, right? Please take forward for this one or take note for this knowledge. I'm gonna delete all this. Now look these photos. Check this. What do you see? Like that. Right. Look these photos. He's a Superman. He can fly. He can free see objects. He can see through objects. He can lead anything. He can travel at the speed of the light. He is Hugo Franco. He can use a computer. He can be creative. He is very qualified, so maybe he can speak two languages, right? He can handle math. Now, this is for abilities and skills, right? He can fly, he can use the computer, right? Now, look at this. Look at this photo. What mean this and what mean this? Right. Okay? Look at these photos. What means this and what means this? Right. Like you can see, right. Do you think that it's important to have abilities when you ask for a job? Well, when may find this thing out of I don't know how to say, prohibido fumar or permitido fumar. When we find this sign outside of school, but never in a classroom. This thing says it's okay if you smoke in this area, right? I mean, it's permitted to smoke here. You can smoke here. This means you have permission to smoke there. Finally, in the last thing, if we put these things, for the prohibido fumar, in the previous one, you will notice it means you are not permitted to smoke in this area. You don't have permission to smoke here. You can smoke in this room. Notice the modal verb is used to express two different things. First, abilities, and second, permission in an informal way. Check these basic characteristics of the modal verb. For example, with this knowledge, he can cook really well, right? He can cook really well. Abilities and permission. Example for this, repeat, he can cook really well. He can cook really well. Now, with others examples, he can run very fast, right? He can he can sleep really well, etc. Right. But can, what is a can? It's an English word, it's an English moral auxiliary or helping verb using will and action verbs to express ability, to request on the other permission, and to show the possibility. Right? For example, I can speak English. He can ride a bike. Repeat. He can ride a bike. He can ride reading a bike, right? Now, check the following rules for the verb can. The first rule. Rule for the verb can. The first, verb in simple form. First, verb in simple form. Repeat, verb in simple form. it always goes with a verb in simple form. The verb can always goes with the verb in simple form. That is, you don't need, you do not conjugate, right? Conjugate it. Next, don't check this. Don't add s. Don't add s. For example, in this, he can cooks, it's wrong. He can writes, it's wrong. With verb can no necesitas adherir a no adhieras la S, right? You don't need add as the can. It's incorrect. For example, he can, for example, he can't. He can't run. This is wrong, right? He can't run. Es incorrecto. No necesitas agregarle la S al verbo to be. No importa si está con he, she, it, right? And the last rule, do not add ing. For the verb can. I mean, you don't need add ing to can. It's incorrect. For example, incorrect. It's incorrect, write or say, he's canning. Él está pudiendo, no sería así. This is incorrect, right? This is a wrong, commonly wrong, right? He is can. Remember the structure for the verb can. In affirmative form, subject, can, verb in simple form for complement, right? For example, Superman can freezing objects, right? For negative form, just add not after the verb can. The structure subject cannot or can, verb in simple form, complement, and example for this one, Superman cannot, or the contraction, Superman can't, repeat, can't shrink himself, right? And for interrogative forms, question word, verb can, subject, verb in simple form, and complement with question mark. Example with this one. What can Superman do? I'm gonna write all these examples. First, positive sentence, or affirmative form. The affirmative, it's better. Now, example for affirmative form, maybe I told you Superman can freezing objects. Superman freeze. Superman can freeze objects for affirmative. Now for negative. Now for negative, maybe it's like example, Superman can shrink himself. Shrink. himself, right? Shrink himself. And the last with interrogative word. For interrogative with double H word, what can Superman do? Repeat, what can Superman do? This is an example for affirmative, negative, and interrogative form, right? Example, other example, he can run really fast. He can cook really well. The baby can run, right? Please take note. Por favor, toma nota y de todo esto que estamos aprendiendo acerca del verbo to be. Y en un momento más te voy a dejar una tarea para que la hagas desde tu hogar. Bueno, yo creo que eso es suficiente. Voy a pasar a borrar. Well, the second homework for you is the next. Writing my family abilities. Do you know what your father, mother, sister, or brother can do? Right. Sometimes we don't know all their secret abilities, or we have not had the opportunity to ask or watch them perform those abilities, right? One, homework. Homework. Right. For this activity, you will have to complete one short, and I'm gonna moment. In one moment, I'm gonna give you one short where we will talk when we talk about for the abilities of each member of your family. Check this chart. The chart is like in this column members or family member family member. I mean for family member, mother, father, sister, brother. Brother, your family member. Now, in this column, we're gonna have the next. For example, bake cookies or cakes, the ability. Bake cookies or cakes. Another with this one, another ability or skill, speak another language. right? Another language. Uh, two more. Fix our car. And the last skill or ability, I don't know, stand on two hands. Right? It's like this. This is the skill. This is the skill. And this is your member family. This is your member family. Stuff like that, right? Ask your family members the question accordingly. If you have a sister and a brother, interview both. If you not have interview one of them, ask your father, mother, or both the questions. Do it in Spanish. Look at for meaning of the verbs in a dictionary. Don't use a translation. Put an tick, I don't know, like this. Frantic, right? Frantic, if they can do it, or across, if they can't do it, across. I don't know, right? Make sure you use the correct structure in affirmative or negative, including the words but and also to connect your ideas. You to make sure your paragraph has all the correct elements. Check the rubrics before doing the activity. For example, my mother can bake cookies or cakes, and she can also cook. She can speak another language. My father can fix a car. My sister can say tongue twister fast, but she can stand on two hands. She can play more than one musical instrument, but she can hold her breath for more than 1 minute. Right? This is your third homework for you. Please, another. Take note. I'm gonna delete all this, right? Now, the last exercise for this topic. Can use can correctly? Right. Read the situation and write a sentence asking, giving, or denying permission. Guide yourself with the words involved. Make sure you use can or can and a verb in simple form. For example, you are asking for permission. This is the first. You are asking You are asking for permission to open the window because the room is hot. The next situation, you are demanding permission to speak during the exam. Repeat. You are demanding permission to speak during the exam. Right? During the exam. Right? And the last situation. Three. You are asking, you are demanding, you're giving permission to drink water. You are asking, demanding, giving permission you are giving permission to drink water during the exam. I mean, check this sentence. I'm gonna repeat but in Spanish. Vamos a utilizar el verbo can para las tres situaciones. Para pedir permiso para abrir la ventana porque la ventana es muy caliente. Para el denegar permiso para hablar durante un examen. Y el última es para dar permiso de tomar agua durante el examen. ¿Cómo estructurarías estas tres oraciones en distintos, digamos, modos, ¿no? La primera sería algo así como, Can I open the window? Right? For you are asking, excuse, you are asking for permission to open the window because the room is hot. Can I open the window? The room is very hot, right? The next, you are demanding permission to speak during the exam. You are demanding permission to speak during the exam. It's like you can speak during the exam. Easy. Speak during the exam. You can speak during the exam. And the last, you're giving permission to drink water during the exam. And you can drink water during the exam. It's very easy, right? Please take note for this sentence. Right. Eso es todo para esta segunda parte. Vamos a ver un tema más porque todavía tenemos media hora de clase y no da tiempo para ver un tema más. Right? Are you ready to practice English? Here we go. Welcome to the third part of this class. When you see or read some expression such as last month, year, week, etc., you immediately identify what tense is. Past, right? In English, we have types of verbs, regular and irregular verbs. Irregular verbs have a distinction features. They are it, right? Ending. And the pronunciation of this ending or suffix. In this lesson, you will explore how to pronounce this ending correctly, right? Due to their nature, we will explore some relevant past events in this lesson. Finally, you will use regular verbs to express the things or activity you and other person did, right? Objective, by the end of this topic, you will be able to use the past tense of regular verbs in the affirmative form. You will use it along with the expression like last month, yesterday night, on Saturday morning, etc. What happened to you as well as to the other people specific points in the past? Right. The next topic is simple past with regular verbs in affirmative form. Repeat simple past with regular verbs simple past with regular verbs in affirmative form. Right? Now, you will find several phrases to express when things or activities happen in the past. Here are some of them. For example, last, with, for example, last week, last month, last year, last night, last week, last month, last year, last night, last Saturday, last, etc. Right? Another word, yesterday. Check for yesterday, morning, evening, night, right? Just a morning, evening, night, or only yesterday, just yesterday, right? Another, this time last, now, this space, just give me a moment. This time last, We check this time last week, month, year, night, Monday, month, week, year, Monday, etc. Now, another, ago, ago, 2 weeks, ago 4 days, ago 2 weeks, ago 4 days, ago 2 weeks, ago 4 days, ago, 3 years, 6 months, and etc. Right. You can use these phrases according to the idea that you need to express. Now, what is the regular verbs? Right? This is the next regular verbs. Please take note for this one. Are you ready? Just déjenme tomar agua y seguimos. Now, regular verbs. Regular verbs. Ah, se acabó este. Regular verbs. Right. It's time to talk about of regular verbs. This action have the eth ending in affirmative sentence, right? Most verbs simply you add eth, it. Repeat. Most verbs simply you add to add it, right? A la mayoría. For example, with this one. Example for this is the infinitive. And the another way, the another side, we have past form. Right? For example, for infinitive, work open, work open. In the past form, work and opened. Sorry. Open. This is infinitive. Work. Opened. Right? This is the most of the verbs. Now, verbs that in infinitive forms ends in e. Repeat. Verbs verbs that ends in e. Repeat. You include the. For example, with this rule, dance, exercise. This is for infinitive. Now, in past, dance, exercise, right? Dance, exercise. Repeat. This is for just hold on. This is for infinitive, and this is for past form. Bailar, bailó. Ejercitar, ejercitó. Trabajar, trabajó. Abrir, abrió. Infinitivo, pasado. Infinitivo, pasado. Right? The next rule for this, and in other verbs have the partner consonant, vowel, consonant. The next rule. With verbs that have pattern consonant, vowel, consonant. This is the first rule, this is the second rule, and this is the third rule. Consonant, vowel, consonant, check this. We'll duplicate the final letter and add it. For example, with this example for this, for a stop, in past, it's like this, right? Duplicamos la última vocal y agregamos de it, right? Now, the last, finally, yes, right here. Why not? Finally, verbs that end with y and consonant before. verb than and in white, and consonant before you write AI in place to Y, and you add it, right? This is Y changes for E and add it. It's like this, for example. Example for this rule, for the fourth rule. Cry changes to check Y for I and add it. Crying, right? Please take note for this. All these rules for simple past and affirmative sentence with regular verbs. Are you done? I'm gonna delete all this knowledge. Now the pronunciation of this. Right, the pronunciation of the it ending. Right. In this case, we have three different ways to articulate this ending. Repeat, three different ways. We have three different ways. Right? The verbs. Check the first way. The first verb in infinity that end with T or D T or D. T or D. T or D, right? You pronounce the it ending as it. It's like it with it. Example for this, visit or visit, right? Visit. And repeat, visit. It's like visit. It's like visit. Another example for with this one, meet The pronunciation with this, it's like needed. Needed, right? This is the first pronunciation. Next, number two. The number two action that are voice sound. Repeat voice sound. Consider the last consonant or consonants in different forms. You pronounce the it ending as the. For example, with this rule, arrive, changes, arrived. Repeat, arrived, arrived, arrived. Right. Another example with this rule, email, emailed. Right. Repeat, emailed, mail, email. Right. And the third way to pronunciation this ending verbs that are voiceless sound. Repeat, voiceless sound. Voice, voiceless sound, taking in account the last consonant in infinitive form. You pronounce it like T. Like one thing. Example for this one, check this case. Like this, like with T, like visit, right? Arrive, like with T, like, 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 wash, it's like washed, wash, washed with T, washed. Right? Watch out, the action in brackets are only representative, right? Only representative. Sentence with regular rate, you need to see the structure of the affirmative sentence in past. The past phrases can be the beginning of the end of the structure when necessary. For example, subject plus verb in past at ending plus complement. Check it. This another rule for you. Repeat a structure for the verb in the for the sentence in the simple past. Subject plus verb in past verb in past at ending plus complement. For example, with this structure, yesterday I cooked. Yesterday I cooked a delicious meal. Subject, verb in the past at ending plus complement with affirmative sentence. Another example, on Wednesday morning, you print a poster. Salma Hayek moved into USA. Mexican students finished their courses in Europe 5 months ago, right? You write the past of regular verbs in the same way with all the subjects in affirmative sentence, right? Exercise 1, infinitive form to past simply. Now you have seen the different way to modify regular verbs from present to simple past. Please take note for this, for the next exercise for you. Por favor, tomen foto de lo que está en el pizarrón. Son las reglas de pronunciación. Recuerden que tenemos tres maneras de pronunciar la terminación ed de los verbos en pasado. Es cuestión de práctica únicamente. Y recuerden que entre más practiques, más palabras vas a agregar a tu vocabulario y mejor va a ser tu entendimiento del idioma inglés. Bueno, yo creo que esto es suficiente. Paso al último ejercicio y con esto cerramos la clase del día de hoy. Bueno, pay attention for the next exercise. Just hold on. Right, it's all. If you turn to changes these verbs correctly in the corresponding blank, if necessary, recheck the previous information. In the end, you will have both forms, infinitive and past tense. When you finish the exercise, you can check the answer and you can try it as many times as you find it necessary. Now, simple form. Simple form. I'm gonna give you some words in simple form. Chop, try, wait. Chop, try, wait, finish, live, stay. Finish, live, stay. Ask, move, walk. Ask, move, walk, ask, move, walk, close, rub, row. Now, your homework is changes all this word to simple past. Tu ejercicio es trasladar todas estas palabras al pasado simple respetando las normas que te acabo de dar. Te voy a dar 20 segundos. I'm gonna get off of the board and try to solve all these words, right? Regresa a tus apuntes si es necesario y vas a ver que va a ser muy sencillo convertir todas esas palabras al pasado simple. Solamente tienes que seguir las reglas gramaticales que te acabo de dar. 10 segundos más. It's enough, right? I'm gonna give you the answers for this exercise. And shop in simple past. Shop it, right? Try on simple past. Try. Wait in simple past. Wait. Right. Finish in simple past. Finished. Live in simple past. Lived. Stay in simple past. No. Stay. Right? Ask in simple past. Ask. Move in simple past. Moved. Walk in simple past. Walked. Close in simple past. Closed. And wrote in simple past. Wrote. Right. Tenía preparado un ejercicio más para ti, pero se nos ha acabado el tiempo. Sin embargo, lo vamos a realizar el día sábado porque muchos de mis alumnos de los días sábados ven a estas clases. Y si tú aún no eres alumno, puedes venir al Conamat Ecatepec, que estamos ubicados en Avenida 3030, a una cuadra del Mexibus de San Cristóbal Centro. Y te recuerda que no solamente tenemos clases de inglés, clases, diplomado de matemáticas, curso de inglés a la UNAM, curso de inglés al Politécnico, curso del Comipems, y también vendemos todas las guías para todos los demás cursos de muchas más universidades. Asimismo tenemos clases personalizadas de matemáticas, química y otras materias que podrás ser de gran apoyo para tu formación académica y profesional. Bueno, el tiempo se nos ha acabado el día de hoy. Para mis alumnos, que muchos de ellos sí que me ven, nos vemos el día de mañana, y para los demás nos vemos el día lunes con una nueva clase. Así que chao, see you later.